The Great Pyramid of Giza is often cited as proof of alien involvement. How could people without iron tools, wheels, or modern machines lift and place 2.3 million stone blocks with such incredible precision? Documented evidence shows an organized, highly skilled workforce. They used water-lubricated sledges and ramps, achieving the sheer scale through logistics and labor management. For all the talk of simple logistics, the techniques used to achieve the pyramid's near-perfect geometric form, particularly the incredibly tight seams between casing stones, still require a level of organizational and mathematical genius that we have yet to fully document. Atlantis is the ultimate lost world, a mythical, super-civilization that vanished in a single, cataclysmic day. Believers often try to connect its existence to megalithic structures across the globe. We know the story came from Plato's dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, written around 360 BCE. Plato used Atlantis as a fictional narrative device to make a political and moral argument. The enduring power of Atlantis comes from the fact that it echoes real history. The Minoan eruption of Thera, Santorini, which destroyed a thriving Bronze Age civilization, provides a vivid historical model for a prosperous island wiped out suddenly. Dating back roughly 11,500 years ago, its massive carved T-shaped pillars predate farming and permanent settlements. This complexity seems too advanced for simple hunter-gatherers, suggesting a forgotten advanced society. Archeological findings confirm the builders were indeed Neolithic hunter-gatherers. Their organization and skills were used for complex ritual purposes, suggesting that religion and ritual organization came before the need for agriculture. The builders intentionally buried the site using thousands of tons of dirt and rubble after centuries of use. The why behind this massive, coordinated burial remains a profound cultural mystery, perhaps hiding untold secrets of their beliefs. The mysterious collapse of the Indus Valley civilization was caused by an atomic explosion at Mohenjo-daro. Proponents point to areas of vitrified, melted and hardened green glass as evidence of a blast. Scientists find no elevated levels of background radiation. The vitrified stone can occur from intense conventional fires or powerful natural lightning strikes, fusing sand and rock. While not nuclear, the city did experience a sudden, violent end, evidenced by scattered skeletons and signs of unburied corpses in a sudden, catastrophic collapse. The true, non-nuclear cause of the city's demise is still heavily debated, leaving room for dramatic natural or conventional events. The severe, vertical weathering patterns on the Sphinx's enclosure walls must be caused by heavy, sustained rainfall, a climate Giza hasn't had for nearly 10,000 years. Therefore, it must predate the dynastic pharaohs. Hard archaeological evidence and inscriptions firmly places the Sphinx's construction under Pharaoh Khafra around 2500 BCE. The weathering patterns are attributed by most geologists to subsurface water, wind, and rapid decay of poor quality stone. The debate over the exact mechanism and period of the erosion is still not entirely resolved among all geologists. The stone quality is unique and poor, but the argument for a rainfall-based origin, even if less extreme than proposed, keeps the door slightly ajar on its timeline. The Anunnaki theory posits that powerful aliens from the supposed 12th planet, Nibiru, visited Earth and used their advanced genetic knowledge to create modern humans as a slave labor force. This entire theory hinges on the work of Zecharia Sitchin, whose translations of Sumerian cuneiform are overwhelmingly rejected by professional Sumerologists and archaeologists. Sitchin fabricated the narrative, twisting the original religious and mythical texts. The actual Anunnaki were real figures in Mesopotamian mythology, a pantheon of powerful Sumerian deities. However, the Sumerian creation myths do involve deities taking earth clay to form the first humans, And these myths are strange enough that one can see why people search for a non-literal explanation. The precisely notched blocks at Puma Punku in Bolivia, especially the recognizable H-shaped blocks, have angles so sharp that proponents argue this required laser cutting or advanced power tools. The builders, the ancient Tiwanaku people, achieved this stunning work using harder, local andesite stone as tools, combined with pecking, grinding with abrasives, and tireless effort. While the blocks aren't perfectly uniform, the consistency of the L and T-shaped notches across hundreds of blocks suggests a sophisticated modular construction system, a level of pre-planning and standardization rarely seen in the ancient world. It is known, but the precision remains breathtaking. The Roman Temple of Jupiter at Baalbek in Lebanon sits on a foundation containing 3 massive stones, the Trilithon, each weighing approximately 1,000 tons. Moving blocks of this size is a challenge even for modern engineering, leading some to conclude lost technology was used. The stones were likely sourced from a very nearby quarry and then rolled, sledged, and levered into position using a combination of earth ramps and sand pits, a clever application of physics and immense manpower. The largest unfinished stone, the Stone of the South, weighs an incredible 1,650 tons. The fact that the ancient engineers even attempted to quarry and move a stone of this magnitude shows an audacity and confidence in their logistics that is almost hard to comprehend, even if they ultimately fail. Recovered from a shipwreck, the Antikythera Mechanism, circa 200 BCE, is a complex clockwork device with over 30 bronze gears. It has been called the world's first analog computer, leading some to believe it was inspired by a hidden master culture. The mechanism's purpose, to predict astronomical positions, eclipses, and dates of the ancient Olympic Games, aligns perfectly with the sophisticated knowledge of Greek astronomers like Archimedes and Hipparchus. The truly astonishing twist is that technology of this complexity, specifically the fine-toothed gearing, doesn't reappear in the archaeological record for over 1,000 years. It stands as a profound anomaly, making it a unique, brilliant, and seemingly one-off invention. The Smithsonian Institution has been actively covering up the discovery of skeletons of enormous humans, the Nephilim or giants of legend, to protect the dominant scientific narrative of human evolution. The vast majority of these stories originate from sensationalist newspaper reports in the American 1800s, a time rife with hoaxes, fake relics, and carnival showmanship. The claims have no confirmed scientific or archaeological backing. While the 15-foot claims are fantasy, recent discoveries in anthropology do show that some prehistoric humans, like early Native Americans, were on average unusually tall for their era. The colossal geoglyphs carved into the Nazca Desert in Peru are best appreciated from an aircraft, leading to speculation that they were made for or by aliens, perhaps as runways. Archaeologists conclude the Nazca lines were created by the Nazca culture circa 100 BCE to 800 CE for ritual, religious, or astronomical purposes. They used simple tools, ropes, and grids to create the scale. While many can be seen from surrounding hills, the immense scale of the straight lines and trapezoids is baffling when considering their spiritual purpose. The precise function of these giant geometrical figures remains highly contested, leaving the question of why they were made so huge open to interpretation. These beautiful, life-size quartz skulls were claimed to be ancient pre-Columbian artifacts of the Aztec or Maya, imbued with great spiritual or even alien power. Modern analysis, including electron microscopy, has revealed unmistakable microscopic marks left by modern jewelers' rotary cutting and polishing tools. They are definitively 19th century forgeries made for the booming art market. Despite the clear evidence of forgery, one famous skull was so expertly carved that it fooled and charmed experts and museum curators for decades. This serves as a cautionary tale. Sometimes the mystery we want to believe is more convincing than scientific fact. The 887 monolithic Moai statues of Easter Island, weighing up to 90 tons, were moved up to 11 miles across the rugged landscape. This feat suggests the Rapa Nui people must have possessed an unknown, lost technology. Experimental archaeology has repeatedly demonstrated that a small team of people using only ropes, leverage, and a rocking motion can walk the Moai upright by rocking them side to side. The largest statue ever attempted, weighing an estimated 270 tons, was never successfully removed from the quarry. This failure shows that while their techniques were brilliant, the limits of their system were pushed to the extreme, leaving room for us to wonder if they had other, less successful techniques we don't know about. The Baghdad Battery, a clay jar containing copper and iron, could generate a small electric current, proving that ancient Parthians knew how to harness electricity. Most archaeologists believe the object was likely a container for sacred scrolls or herbs. While it could technically have been used for electroplating, gilding silver with gold, definitive archaeological evidence of this practice in the region is still unproven. We have artifacts that show electroplating was practiced in other parts of the world centuries later. The Baghdad Battery is a genuine electrical curiosity whose true function remains speculative, a genuine anomaly where the what-if question is still valid. Submerged structures off Japan's coast feature sharp edges, terraces, and 90-degree corners, leading to speculation that it is the ruins of a submerged city or pyramid. Geological surveys conclude that the formation is primarily a natural phenomenon, carved by seismic activity, erosion, and currents acting on the area's layered sandstone and mudstone stone tools and carved stone objects have been found on the ocean floor nearby, suggesting that while the structure is natural, ancient humans may have modified or utilized parts of it before it was submerged. The formation is natural, but human intervention around it keeps the debate alive. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church claims the Ark of the Covenant, containing the Ten Commandments, was secretly brought to Axum and is now guarded by a single, lifelong guardian monk. The claim is built on centuries of tradition, but there is no archaeological or historical evidence to back it up. Scholars believe that if the church holds anything, it is most likely a ceremonial replica or a tablet. The legend is sustained not just by tradition, but by the fact that the monk who guards the supposed ark is confined to the chapel for life and speaks of powerful supernatural phenomena. The secret is kept so well that there is simply no way to ever definitively disprove the claim.